Well, you made it.
Well, you told me to be here. Where else was I gonna be?
Well, the skiing's great in Manitoba right now.
I hear the fish are really biting off Vancouver Island.
Yeah, the Montreal Canadiens actually got a shot at winning the Stanley Cup this year.
Is there anybody else in town that doesn't know I was gonna take me and mine across the border?
No, but I know that you're a very, very lucky man that Laurel talked you out of it.
Yeah, I was lucky. She screwed my head on right.
Well, you do seem to lose it at inopportune moments.
Besides, Trev, we love you. You don't have to run away from home.
Well, it seemed like a good plan last night. Janet's got a good shot of getting her parental rights back. She wants quality time with Amanda, just like Godzilla wanted quality time with Tokyo.
Oh, the picture may not be quite so grim.
Oh, come on, you were in court yesterday? Kiefer used Noah to mop us up.
Yes, but a new day is dawning.
And what a difference a day makes.
24 little hours.
What about you? You don't got a cliche for me, too?
How about this one? Janet's had her day in court. Now it's your turn.
You guys got something up your sleeve.
Well, it's a novel concept, Trev, but to tell you the truth, we didn't think it would fit. You better grab a hold of something because what we're going to show you is going to seem amazing. Like magic. And I'm not talking about pulling a rabbit out of a hat or a little sleight of hand. No, sir, I'm talking about being given the right material and a little ingenuity, a person being able to bring a person back from the dead. No kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, abracadabra, presto.
Trevor, meet Justin Carrier. He's an actor.
In between gigs, he likes to pick up a little extra work doing impressions.
Ted and I first met Justin or saw Justin at a local theater production. I was blown away by how much he looks like Will.
And guess who else saw that uncanny resemblance?
Janet Green was also in the audience, Trev. She thought by hiring Justin to impersonate Will, she could terrorize Dixie into dropping her victims' rights campaign.
And a makeup man who does wonders with latex filled in the missing features.
And he picked up Will's mannerisms by watching an old news interview on videotape.
It's unfreaking believable. Seamless. You gotta believe he's right back from the dead. Leave it to Janet, huh?
I really thought I was losing my mind.
Lucky for us, we were able to ring down the curtain before the last act.
And I checked myself into Oak Haven.
He may have wreaked havoc with Dixie, but I think it's a real plus for our side.
So much for Janet's claim that she's reformed herself. You're joining us on this.
Whatever I can do to help.
So how are we using him to nail Janet?
All right, listen up, everybody.
This is the plan. Did you get it?
One affidavit, signed, sealed, and delivered.
And not a moment too soon. The show's about to start. Let's
Okay,
go.
look, I'm gonna get our mystery gets wired for sound, okay?
Okay, remember, everybody, this is not a dress rehearsal.
Wicked Witch coming in.
You're really going to testify on my behalf?
Well, Janet, your lawyer subpoenaed me, and that's what I'm telling everybody.
So you meant all those nice things you said to me yesterday?
Well, I'm going to tell the truth, that you were a great employee, that you were a good friend, although it may get a little sticky when I have to go into about, how I had to fire you.
Well, Dixie forced your hand.
And you don't resent me for that?
Well, I know now that you'd never do anything intentionally to hurt me.
Janet, I did wrong by you. One way or another, I'm going to make sure that I pay you back.
Committing Dixie means never having to say you're sorry.
Winner for best performance in a nauseating role is me.
All rise. Family Court of Pine Valley is now in session. The Honorable Patricia Hale presiding.
Oh, Ms. Kiefer, it's come to my attention that you have requested a continuance.
I withdrew my request, Your Honor. I'm ready to call my first witness.
Please proceed.
I call Tad Martin to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Martin, what is your occupation?
I'm the president of Orsini Vineyards.
And what is your association with my client, Janet Green?
She was my senior accountant at Orsini.
I understand that Orsini's revenues have doubled every year for the past 3 years.
Yeah, the grapes have been good to us.
And the position of senior accountant must have carried a great deal of responsibility.
True.
Did Janet Green meet that responsibility?
Yes, she was a top-flight numbers cruncher.
Did she ever give you any reason to question her competence?
On the job, no. I never saw I never saw Janet as anything less than a very hard-working professional.
Did she ever exhibit any behavior that you would call threatening?
No, I never saw her as a threat.
Did she ever exhibit any behavior that you would consider psychotic, irrational?
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Martin is not an expert witness in this area. He cannot give a professional diagnosis.
Sustained.
I will rephrase. Mr. Martin, did Janet Green at any time exhibit any behavior that you as a layman would consider odd or quirky?
Well, other than a very bad case of prenuptial jitters, no.
Mm-hmm. And over the course of her employment, isn't it true that you and Janet Green developed a close working relationship?
That's true.
So much so that you threw Janet Green a dream wedding in your own home and picked up the tab.
Yes. I gave Janet a wedding. The truth is, I wanted her all to myself. The CPA that I knew as Jane Cox was more to me than just a 9-to-5 friend. Oh, yes. I fell in love with a very special woman named Jane. I am still in love with a woman named Janet. Fact is, Your Honor, I want to dump my wife, have her committed, and as soon as the divorce is final, I want to marry Jane Cox and help raise that adorable little girl of hers.
I object!
You can't object. You're out of your mind.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mr. Montgomery.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, bravo. I think Ted's testimony put us over the top. Amanda and I are almost home.
Mr. Martin, what was your reaction in finding out that your trusted employee was not at all who she said she was?
I was stunned.
Would you say you were angry?
Yeah, I felt betrayed. I think we all did.
So what action, if any, did you take?
I fired her.
You fired her. Any regrets about that?
None whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Miss Kiefer.
Mr. Martin, did you fire Janet Green at the wedding after you found out her true identity?
No.
Immediately following?
No.
In fact, 24 hours went by before you decided to terminate Miss Green's employment. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it is.
So you admit that you were torn about firing my client?
Briefly.
I understand that you allowed her a generous severance check.
In lieu of 2 weeks' notice, yes, with change.
In short, you were reluctant to let Janet Green go at all. Having her in your employ, her exemplary job performance, her friendship outweighed her benign use of an alias.
The woman I knew as Jane Cox was a good accountant. I admit, I had to think twice about letting her go, but then I realized, I mean, well, her talents as accountant became irrelevant when I realized I was working with a woman that murdered my wife's brother. I mean, I don't think a crowbar is irrelevant or benign.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Court is in recess for 15 minutes.
I'm going to go check on Noah.
Miss Green?
Yes.
You have a visitor waiting in the anteroom.
Thank you.
Don't you worry about it, honey. This next act is going to wipe that smirk right off her face.
I think I'm actually going to enjoy it.
Well, all things considered, you're holding up great.
The epitome of grace under pressure.
To your credit, Janet Green is one mean and slippery customer.
This is justice, then it reeks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way they're making out Janet to be some sort of poor, misunderstood ex-con who served time for a misdemeanor.
You know, I wouldn't be at all surprised if she came out wearing an American flag and carrying a hot apple pie.
Well, you heard the judge say she was the mama, too. I mean, what if she gets all warm and fuzzy and decides to let Janet next to little baby Amanda?
It ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, we're just going to have to keep the faith and hold on to our hats.
Keep the faith. We're going to need more than that. We're going to need a full-blown miracle.
Well, here she comes.
Janet Green, right name, right you.
Let's hope so.
Looks like our friend Justin knew all the buttons to push.
Looking for someone?
No. Is your brother all right?
No change.
Well, cheer up. As soon as Noah gets back on his feet, I'll take us all out for a victory celebration.
Well, there's nothing to celebrate. Not yet, anyway. Let the record show that Dr. Havelock appears as an expert witness on postpartum depression. Doctor, what happens to a woman's body chemistry after she's given birth?
Well, her hormone levels fluctuate dramatically.
Now, we are all familiar with the term baby blues. What are some of the common symptoms?
A general feeling of malaise, discouragement, irritability, mental confusion.
Mental confusion. Could a critical decision, let's say a mother opting to give her child up for adoption, be influenced by such a dramatic flux in the hormone levels?
Well, it's my opinion that during the postpartum phase, women should refrain from making any life-altering decisions.
Let the record show that Janet Green was advised to relinquish her parental rights to the minor child Amanda less than 48 hours after giving birth.
The prison psychiatric staff agreed unanimously that Janet Green should be mainstreamed back into society.
On what basis did you and the staff make this recommendation?
The prison offers a pilot program that encourages inmates to take an active role in raising and nurturing their children. Well, Janet Green worked extensively with these women. She demonstrated a deep understanding and commitment to these very special young people.
Dr. Jaffe, do you see any parallels between the Janet Green that assumed her sister's identity and the allegedly reformed Janet Green that assumed her mother's identity?
Janet used her mother's name to protect herself against the ill will of others. It was an act born out of fear as opposed to insanity. And in light of the vigilante campaign that's being waged against her, can anyone blame Janet for being afraid?
Dr. Jaffe, I'd like to thank you for being so candid for this court today. I have no further questions.
The witness is excused.
Something is not right. Montgomery is acting like he doesn't have a care in the world.
That's because he knows he's lost. Check out the judge. She's moved by my sad plight.
The verdict is not in yet.
All right, folks, let's fasten our seatbelts. We're about to blast off.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Montgomery?
Your Honor, we only have one witness to call. Who's that?
I have no clue.
Gonna have to be a miracle worker to undo all the damage that Janet's done up there.
Call your witness, please.
I call to the stand Will Cortland.
Will? What?